Alright now, good morning, welcome back. Today we're going to go over the solar. It's been up and running for not quite 2 weeks, but been up and running. So right now it's almost 10:30 in the morning. As you can see from the outline, it is pretty much full sun at this particular moment. So it's in a pretty good location. Seems to be doing good. Go over a little bit with you. Come around the back, look at the inverter and what have you. This is the back of it. It's all wired up with 24 total panels. They are wired in series parallel, so 2 rows of 12, top and the bottom, A and B, however you want to say it. So the way that it's wired is panel 1 is linked into panel 3 and then down, and it goes to the end, then it comes back and picks up the evens. Same with the bottom, which is the series. The top is 1 series, the bottom is 1 series, and then it all comes into the SMA Sunny Boy inverter. So if you look here at the blinking lights, the blue light is the comm line, so that's running through the internet to troubleshooting, and so you can use the app and see what's going on and how much it's making. The breathing green light is means it's in operation and making power. As the day goes on, the breathing green light will become solid as it's at its maximum producing. And then on the panel, see if we can wake it up. There we go. So we have made 5,197 watts, 659.8 kilowatt hours since it's been commissioned, which was on the 19th of September. I believe today is the 29th of September, so that is 10 days. This just goes through some of the setups. Internet is okay. Here's the important part. So we're making almost 7 amps on one. Well, there it is. 392.5 volts, 348 point whatever 9 volts on the A and B. And back to the totals since it's been commissioned. And the current is the 5,271 watts. And so on the app, let's see if we can look at the app. So that's for today. It spikes up pretty quick in the morning. So it looks like it came on a little bit before, about 7:15ish or so. But about 9 o'clock it spikes up pretty good. This was yesterday's total, according to the app. Totals. If you can see it, anyway, it made about 41.5 kilowatts yesterday. From the other day, we had thunderstorm run through, and it just keeps track of a couple days. You can do it on the app, do it about a month. That's what the month looks like. You can see today way down there in the bottom. Do it by the year and totals. So that's it from the back side and the inverter. I believe this is a 7.3 total system. Originally we were going to do a 10, which the power company didn't like because that would have been about 97% of my power bill, which means they would probably be paying me. But anyway, we'll follow the trench line and go look at the meter and give you an idea of what the solar meter. Keep in mind this is an on-grid system right currently, which just means we're tied into the grid and to solar. So during the day, hopefully, we are using solar to power the house, and then of course in the evening, nighttime, and on very cloudy days, we'll be pulling electricity off the grid. Should see, I don't know what all we got running. Air conditioners are on in South Carolina. Into September is still hot. We're in our second summer for the year. But anyway, so here's what we got. So the small box with the handle, that's our solar disconnect in case we got to do any work. And on this, if we can look, if we can get it to zoom in, which I don't know if it's going to do it or not. Let's see if we could maybe do it like this. But as you can tell, the bottom two dashes that are moving pretty slowly, but they're moving from right to left, which means we are putting electricity back into the grid, and that means we are not pulling off the grid. As slow as it's moving right now, of course it's still pretty early, we're probably using what is getting pushed. Later in the day, of course, it'll move quite faster, which means that either we're using solar and putting solar back in, and then in the evening time it'll move from left to right, which means grid power is coming into the house and we're using off the grid. Yeah, I hear one of the air conditioners running, so I know it's running. We got lights on. A little bit of stuff running this morning, but the good news is it is running backwards, and you can tell by the little two dashes that are moving this way. That means you're putting kilowatts back into the system. If it runs this way, that means you are pulling power off the grid into the house. Yeah, right now, like I said, 10:30 in the morning. We are producing power, and we are producing enough that we are not drawing off the grid. If we were drawing, it would be going the other way, very slowly. Just like now, it's moving very slowly left to right. So we're not putting a lot back in, but we're not using any, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, disconnect. So if you ever need to do any work or whatever, of course, disconnect the solar, which will stop all power coming into the house off the solar array. Down here, the little box going in is the internet line. the power that comes off of the grid, off the array, comes down the pipe and goes down the yard and to the array. Yeah, I haven't quite figured out how to read the numbers on this thing, and I haven't wrote them down. It seems like the numbers are actually lower. $6.99. I think yesterday I looked, it was like it's $6.87, so we are not using very much power off the grid at all, which is a glorious thing. That's what we're after. There's no reason to pay the man when you can make the power via the sun. Yeah, so that's the solar. It's pretty easy and not a whole lot to it, setting it up and all that good stuff, but once it's up and running, it's pretty self-sufficient. Do clean the panels a couple times a year or whatever, knock the dust off of it, help it out as best you can. Yeah, that's the power. While we're up here at the chicken yard, I'll go over the project. I don't know, I started it about the same time as the solar. I ain't quite got it finished up yet, but so we got our main coop with all of our egg birds, I guess. But over here is what I've been working on. This would be our breeding coops, which were some dog kennels when we moved in, with tarps over there. So I've constructed this over the top of 3 kennels, 10 by 10 kennels. Putting metal roof on there. The tarps were just tearing up every couple of months and had to replace it. So, and they were about $50 a tarp, so $150 every time you had to replace them. I think I've got about $300, maybe $400 in this build right here. I need to get one more piece of metal for the roof and get it finished up. But other than that, yep, so that's it. And we will resume breeding our barred rocks, our dark or golden Brahmas, and we got some new light Brahmas that we will be breeding. Matter of fact, here's our light rooster. He's just a few months old, but he's a big old feller. I'll tell you the thing about these Brahmas, we've got 1, 2, 3, I think 4 roosters in this run, and they don't really mess with each other. There's gonna be my next golden rooster for breeding as soon as I get everything in the coops finished up. And the little pen over there are my barred rock hens that will be going with my barred rock rooster for breeding. Which these guys are over here, my roosters, and we got 5 roosters in this one pen. I'm gonna use one for breeding, probably take 2 down to the goat pen. And then we got this big guy that was a science experiment. That is a Brahma, a golden Brahma rooster and a barred rock hen mix. That'll be the one on the bucket, will be my barred rock breeder. And we got this guy and this guy, and got another one. There he is, coming out the house. So we got 3 full barred rock roosters that need to find a house. My man here, he will probably go into the main coop to be their guardian. So this is my breeder cages. And it'll end up being one rooster and about 4 or 5 hens per breed. So the barred rocks, the light Brahmas, and the dark Brahmas. Start breeding them. Oh, there comes Sassy Preston. One of the farm cats. Got 5 of those. Those are great. I think everybody should have a farm cat if they live on some property. They definitely keep stuff down and away. But yeah, so that's it that's our solar. Yeah, I still don't know. We'll wait and see. I think we got our bill about 2 days after it was commissioned. So there was no solar on it. So we'll almost start off this next billing cycle with a full month of solar. I'm sure there'll be a couple days that we were without it. I'm looking forward to seeing the difference. Hopefully it'll cut it more than half. More than in half, that'd be great. Yeah, that's it, guys. That is our solar and our breeding cages for our chickens. So anybody want any barred rocks or Brahmas, hit me up. We'll probably be selling them here in the next couple months. 21 days for chickens to hatch, which we'll probably start. We'll probably do one group of each before the winter and then start spring. Fire it up. We'll probably do 3 or 4 batches starting in February, March time frame. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. And leave you with just a little glimpse of this. Basically just boards over top of dog kennels with a metal roof. Even if you just got dogs out there, hey, get the metal roof so they don't get rained on. You get them some shade, and you don't have to worry about tarps tearing up in the rain and the wind and all the other good stuff. I think it's gonna work out good for us. All right, that's it from here. You guys take care, and we'll catch you on the next one out here.